In this video, we're going to take a look at how to splice screenshots together. That's a great topic for Photoshop, so let's do it now. Go ahead and grab a couple of screenshots. If you're not sure how to do that, just Google it. Screenshot for Mac, screenshot for PC. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create a screenshot for my PC, but I'm going to think about a couple of things here. I'm on hack.edu, and this page has a couple of fixed items on it. So if you notice as I scroll, this banner stays in the same spot, this apply, this little mini navigation area stays in the same spot, but I've also got this top button. So there's a couple of things that we can do here. And what I'm going to do is think about this for just a second. Okay, I'll tell you more about what I'm thinking in just a second. I'm going to grab this first screenshot. You know, sometimes those little mini navigation things matter and sometimes they don't. Okay, so there's my first screenshot. Now you'll notice that I came down here just below this roof line in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, now I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to take another little screenshot. Right, oh gosh, right about there. Right there, but above the top arrow. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more here. Again, above the top arrow. You don't have to do it like this, but it's good practice, and that's what we're doing today. We're learning. Okay, so I have 3 little screenshots that I'm going to work with. Now, go ahead and get Photoshop open if it's not already open, and navigate to where your screenshots are located. Grab your first screenshot from the very top of your page and simply drag and drop it right onto Photoshop. That will open up that image in the exact width and height that you need to start. Now, obviously, I'm going to want more space down below so that we can add the next 2 screenshots on here. So if you would please come up to Image, come down to Canvas Size. So the canvas size is really going to extend the artboard. We're going to change the anchor point. Right now, the way that this is set is that Photoshop would add pixels all the way around the image, you know, to the top, to the bottom, right, left, all that. But we don't really want that in this particular case. We want it to add down below. So if you change the anchor point to the top center, we'll get the product that we want. I can see that my width is 2,832 pixels, my height is 1,932 pixels, but I want to make this at least, let's say, another 1,500 pixels tall. So I'm going to add an additional 1,500 pixels. Down below. And there it is. I just clicked OK and Photoshop added it right there for me. All right, let's create a new layer by clicking the plus icon in the Layers panel, which is in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So this will be layer 2. And in fact, you may want to lock layer 1. That just prevents it from being moved around when you start selecting things. So to lock this, select layer 1 and then click the lock icon. Now click back again on layer 2 and let's get the second screenshot that you had before. I'm going to just drag and drop it right there. Okay, so this is where the magic of the splicing is going to start here, just a little bit. It looks like this wants to be a little smaller than it actually is, so I'm just going to boop, grab that corner out and hold down Shift at the same time. Okay, I'm going to grab the other corner and hold down Shift at the same time there. It's really important to match these guys up. Now, I'm using my arrow tool, excuse me, not the arrow tool, but these are the forward, the up, down, right, and left arrows on my keyboard. And I'm going to just resize this one more time so that it lines up perfectly pixel-wise here. 1 pixel off will ruin your image. And yes, your professor will see this. I will see it and I will notice it and it will drive me insane. Okay, when you are done, hit Command, I hit the wrong thing, hit Command Return, or alternately you can come up here and choose the check mark. All right, that looked pretty good. Obviously, I didn't get all of my screenshot here on the left-hand side, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt anything. So what I'm looking at now are my lines. My lines here, do they line up perfectly? I'm not terribly happy with that one. So I might come back up to Edit, excuse me. It's been a while. I need transform, free transform. There it is. So I came up to Edit, down to free transform. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to move this one more time in the hopes that I can get that to line up perfectly. When you're done, you can click the check mark up here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Now, the next step is simply to move this up so that the virtual information session looks good. All right, let's get the move tool. The move tool is up here. So let's just hold down the Shift key and hit the up arrow at the same time. Shift key and up arrow. And just do what you need to do to get that to look fantastic. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's save our file before we forget. So please come up to File, come down to Save. And this is Photo Splicing. Save it wherever you would like to save it. Once we're done with that particular layer, go ahead and lock your layer. So come down to the Layers panel in the lower right-hand corner. Click on our second image. Let's rename this image 2, and then click the lock icon, please. Now let's create a new layer by clicking on the plus icon in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And this is going to be image 3, so let's just go ahead and double click on the layer name and name it image 3. Locate your third image and then drag and drop it right onto our information here. Okay, so this one, we have to line it up again. The nice thing is we've got some beautiful poles this time. That really helps with lining things up. Okay, click the check icon and make sure that you're still in your move tool. Again, the move tool is up here. And we're just going to nudge this into position so that it looks good. I'm using the up arrow right now. One of the things I'm watching is right here, this tree, because that tree was a really good indicator for me about where it should line up. Now I'm seeing a little distortion right there. And I'm thinking that this was not brought in properly, so let's change it. So come up to Edit, come down to Transform, Free Transform, excuse me, and let's hold down that Shift key again and just kind of move that out a scooch here. When you're happy, click the check mark. And just move it into places as you need to do. Okay, that is not too bad. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit by hitting Command minus on my Mac. If you're on a PC, hit Control minus until you can see the entire thing. And there's definitely that little spot over there where I didn't get a great screenshot, but otherwise this looks pretty respectable. Okay, save your files, come up to File, and then come down to Save. Click Save again. I'm just going to replace it, and that is just fine. Let's do one more thing for housekeeping. Come over to the Layers panel, double click on that very top layer. Let's call that Image 3. Let's change the first layer to Image 1, again by double clicking on the image name. Save your file. You can do it with a command by hitting Command S on a Mac or Control S on a PC. When you're done, let's export the file because that's good practice for you. Come up to File, come down to Export, and then Export As. Now, in our first video, I had talked about the difference between photorealistic and non-photorealistic images. This is definitely a photorealistic. It's actual images of people. So this is something that we need to choose a JPEG for. So come up to File, and under Format, I want you to scroll down and choose JPEG. I'm going to leave the rest of this set as normal. This is going to give you a big file. Okay, usually we don't put images on the web that are 3,500 high by 2,800 wide. Usually we would have to make that a little bit smaller. So let's go ahead and scale it now. Come to Scale, and then let's choose 33%. You may even need to go a little bit smaller. Okay. Yeah, usually an image that I put in a content area, notice I'm saying content area, is no larger than 800, and even then that might be a little bit bigger, a little bit too big, especially if this is like just a thumbnail or something like that. So play around with the image size that you need or want. It's all up to you. When you're happy with that, click Export. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing how to splice these images together. One final tip, if you really needed to have that one little strip over here taken care of, you can always go back to the original website and you can just take another little screenshot of where that particular area is and then put it right into your Photoshop file. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. I'll see you in the next one.